Hello, everyone, and thank you for clicking. My name is Magic Hev, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Zoo. This is episode 4 in our franchise series for the Mission Zoo. So, we're just going to jump right into that because this is going to be an exciting episode. And the reason for that is that today we're actually going to be building the mission that Mission Zoo is named after. All right, so I haven't really changed anything at all. There wasn't really anything to do in between last episode and this episode. So basically, we just finished the Aardvark exhibit, which you saw, and then I just let the game run for a little while, and I've been making money like left and right because of these donation bins and the fact that the Aardvark exhibit over here has just kind of like opened up the rest of the zoo. It's brought like foot traffic all the way down this way and up to the gift shops. So the gift shops are making some money. But at least all of the facilities that we have down are making money at this point. So yeah, I want to start building the mission, like the historic mission building in this big empty square, and I'm hoping that it will, one, help me to visualize like the layout of the rest of the zoo, like around it and in relation to that historic building, but then also number two, just because we have enough money, we might as well just build like the namesake of the Mission Zoo and just get it started, get that out of the way. And just like this little patch over here, I think it's just gonna keep me rolling personally as far as like inspiration goes, and getting to really see my ideas come to life. So we're just gonna jump straight into the creation of the historic mission. So this is going to be another two-parter because it's a long build, but it's quite an involved building. Well, a complex, really. It's more of a complex of 4 different buildings surrounding a courtyard. And the building is loosely based on the footprint of Mission San Juan Capistrano in San Juan Capistrano, California. It's a little bit of a slow start because I'm following a basic layout that I did on graph paper, and I have to kind of keep cross-referencing. And then I'm sinking the area of the courtyard down a little, so I need to do some terrain work too. If you end up downloading this building for your own use, you don't have to sink the courtyard, but you have the option to. Either way, it should be very easy to incorporate into your game if you use a 4 meter grid rather for your pathing. One thing you'll notice is that there are two different wall types. I wanted to give the impression that there are some original sections and some restored sections in the same like building complex. Because historically, the California missions have been through a lot. Many have had run ins with fires and earthquakes, and a lot of them have kind of really been destroyed and wouldn't be here if it wasn't for restoration. The one at San Juan Capistrano has literal ruins on the property next to the restored sections, like rubble ruins. So I thought it was very fitting to have like restored sections that would show kind of what it would have looked like back in the day, and then sort of like original sections that are still standing. So basically, anytime I'm doing mission style architecture in Planet Zoo, I'll be using the African mud walls with all of their color slots colored to E1D3C0. I know that's super specific, but I just like messed around and picked the color one day, and I found the perfect sort of like washed out kind of like beige adobe color, and I want them all to look the same, so I just type that in and it works. So I'll use those mud walls colored to that color, or I'll use just the limestone pieces. They work well for the restored sections.
And now that the base of walls is all placed, I'm going in with a little bit of framing to cover gaps and make a trim and beams around the roof. For mission style architecture, I'm always using the Planet Zoo beams as well. So it's time for the first bell tower. Finally, some more interesting stuff. It's really the little details that bring this whole build to that believable, like, okay, I actually know what I'm looking at level. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like, you get what I mean? Because like right now it just kind of looks like just like this flat building. It doesn't, you can't really tell that it's going to be a mission, and now that we're adding these details, it's like, oh, I can really see this coming together. One of my favorite discoveries is that I can use the cast iron planter as a mission bell if I just flip it over, and it works perfectly. The other big discovery was that I could turn a fountain over in the same way and use it as like a dome to top the towers for a little bit of extra detail. The fountain pieces actually came in handy a lot on this build for those added details. The roof on this build is the most finicky part. Some of the gables across a few different themes within the game are like steeper than their slanted full square counterparts, and their slopes don't match when you're trying to use the gable in the middle with those full square pieces on the sides. And you'll see what I mean in a second, but I'm gonna have to split a few sections from the group and move them independently to make them continue the slope up to that midpoint properly. It's really only the ends of the buildings with odd lengths, like 3 squares though, that have this problem. 4 squares is fine because it doesn't need a gable in the middle. You can just sort of match those two slants without that need for that additional gable. But I hope that made sense. It just kind of like, I hate when everything's going well and then like you just have those like little oversights by the people that made the game, and then you kind of have to like do a workaround, and it just takes more time than it needs to, but it's done. I'll also end up removing and reworking a few different parts of the roof anyway to make bell towers and flat sections. I think that that's gonna help fit the real life reference for this building a little bit better. So what you see now as far as roofs, like, it's not final. Okay, so as I finish the roof up, we're bringing part 1 to a close. The mission is halfway done. The boring part is over. This part may have been a little bit boring, but in part 2, we'll be doing a lot more detail work. We'll make 2 more bell towers and really start infusing like some of those like Spanish architecture vibes into the build with like ornate detailing and the like. And we'll give our gift shop a lot more attention as well. So once again, thank you for clicking. If you like what you see, consider subscribing or liking or both. And I'll see you in part 2 of the mission build. Bye.